बेटी ने अड्डा 24/7 ज्वाइन किया और टीचिंग एग्जाम क्लियर किया।
Hello everyone, good morning to all of you. Welcome to the official YouTube channel of Officers at 24/7. My name is Amanjot and I am here to discuss with all of you the PPB subject related marks distribution and modules. So what we are going to do in today's session, first of all we are going to understand that how many modules are there. After that we will understand that in which module what we have to cover, what are the topics we have to cover and in how detail we have to cover the topics. And after that we are going to discuss that what is the marks distribution for all these modules. Okay, so as we know that all the modules are very important, all the conceptual understanding is very important, so we are not saying that you can skip any module or any topic, but the thing is there are certain topics which are important in comparison to others. So first we have to have a understanding that what this exam is, what this subject is, what we have to cover in this particular subject. We have to cover all of that, and after that we will discuss that which topics are very important to revise or which topics are very important to prepare before your exam. Okay, so let's start. First of all, those candidates who are new to the Officers at 24/7 channel, do subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that all the upcoming sessions notification will be given to you. And if you have not downloaded the Adda 24/7 application yet, then do download the application. It will help you to find the upcoming batches on Adda 24/7 application, as well as it will help you to find the banking awareness quiz, which is really going to help you to understand the basic terminologies of banking. Okay, so let's start. First of all, if we talk about principles and practices of banking, this syllabus is all related to the banking. What are the principles the bankers are following, what are the practices they perform in the bank. This subject is all about the practical banking and theoretical banking which you are performing in the bank and what the acts define. Okay, so we have certain acts which define the banking or the banking services or the banking practices or principles. So we have to cover those acts and rules in the principles, and then how these principles or acts actually works in the practical banking, we have to cover that. So we have 5 modules. First is module A, B, C, D and E. So as I have already discussed earlier that if we talk about module A and B, these modules have 50% syllabus of your exam. So if we talk about the module B, this is the huge module, maximum topics are there and maximum number of questions asked from the module B also. So if we talk about module A and B, they both cover 50% portion of your syllabus and your marks. Okay, now if we cover about the C, D and E, the rest 50% comes from these 3 modules. Okay, now the first important module is your module B, because maximum marks questions will be asked here, around 20 to 25 marks questions will be asked here. So first of all, if I talk about which how we should decide the priority while we are starting preparation. So first priority we should give to the module B, and after module B we have to go to the module A. Okay, and both the modules have similar concepts related to the banking practices and principles. After that we have to cover the module D, that is marketing. It is a very important module, around 15 to 20 marks we can earn from here. Okay, after that we have to cover the module C, and last we have to cover the module E. Not the last module E is not that it means that this is not important. Module E is similarly important as module C, but the thing is module E is ethics. Okay, and it is very easy to understand, and it has a very small syllabus, so it will be very easy for all of us to cover it later. Okay, So we will go with this sequence. We have to cover the module B, then module A, then D, C and E. Okay. So these are this is the sequence we should follow while starting preparation. So if we talk about module B, around 20 to 25 marks question will be from the module B section. And if I talk about module A, around 15 to 20 marks questions will be asked from the module A. After that, module C will cover 10 to 15 marks. Module D will cover your 15 to 20 marks, and module E will cover the same 15 to 20 marks. Okay, so we have to give the same priority to module C, D and E, because all the three have lagbhag we can say similar pattern of questions they can ask, similar number of questions they can ask, similar marks we will get after completing these three modules. Okay, so these are the 5 modules in principles and practices of banking. If we talk about principles and practices of banking, so first of all, in this subject we are going to have 120 questions. We will find 120 questions. Out of this, some questions will be of 0.5 marks, some questions will be of 1 marks, and some questions will be of your 2 marks. So if I am talking about 0.5 marks question, there can be there are around 70 questions of 0.5 marks. Okay, so half mark questions will be 70 questions there, and it will be very easy one-liner pattern questions will be there. And if we talk about the 1 mark questions will be around 30 questions will be there, and these are also one-liner, but they can be of statement based. Okay, they can be time consuming. They can give you the 5 options in the statements, and that will require time to read all the 5 statements and then find the right answer, that which of the following is true or false or correct or incorrect. Okay, now we will have 2 marks question, and 2 marks questions are mainly of case study, in which 15 questions we can find. Okay, 2 marks question will be of your case study on the practical banking. They will provide you a certain condition of practical banking, that if this happens in your branch, then what your step should be, what step you will take at that time. Okay, so all these types of case study will be asked. So 120 questions will be there, and of 0.5 marks, 1 mark, 2 mark. Next, if I am talking about minutes, the 120 minutes will be given to you to attempt this particular paper, and the marks will be divided and 100 marks. Okay, so this paper is of your 100 marks, in which you will get 120 questions, 120 minutes to solve the paper. So it is very simple. There will be no issue of time management. It is more than sufficient time to practice or to answer 120 questions of 0.5 marks, 1 mark and 2 marks. So there will be no challenge of maintaining the time, because it has a sufficient time of 120 minutes for one particular subject. Okay, now the doubt, or we can say the problem we can face at the time of attempting these questions, is that we are not having the conceptual understanding. We can face the problem related to the concept, otherwise we are not going to face any kind of problem in this particular subject. Okay, no time management issue will be there. So the issue will be only of about you are knowing the concept, you know the concept or not. Because if you do not know the concept, you have still time in the paper, but you will not be able to answer the question, because you do not know the concept of the particular question. So don't think that we can only read the MCQs format of PPB, or we can cover the principles and practices of the banking subject by following the MCQ book or certain things. No, you have to study this subject in detail, and in detail means you should have a conceptual understanding of all the modules, of all the topics. Okay, so conceptual understanding is very important when we talk about the principles and practices of banking. So as you can know, this is a principles and practices of banking subject, so it is very easy to understand that we should know the concept. If we are not able to understand what the principle is saying, we will not be able to use it in the practical banking. So it is always that conceptual understanding is important, and as I have told you that 2 markers questions will be there, and those questions will be case study. So in case study, you only find the current situation or a particular situation in which you have to apply the principles of banking, or you have to apply the concepts of banking. For that purpose, you have to understand the conceptual understanding of your topic. Okay, Now, how to start preparation for the November and December JAIIB exam? So when I am talking about November and December is our next attempt. November, December is our next attempt. So the first thing you have to do is go check the June PPB paper. June PPB recollected questions you have to check. And the recollected questions I have discussed in the last session, okay, which happened tomorrow, in which I have discussed that what questions was asked in the June PPB exam. And also you can find the recollected questions PDF or the image only on Officers at a 24/7 channel. You have to go to the community section, and in community section you will find the recollected question of shift 1 and shift 2 both. So first you have to check the previous year, not previous year, June month PPB exam recollected questions. After that you have to focus on the conceptual understanding. Focus on the concept, go with the concept, do not practice MCQ. And while you are reading the concept, then start practicing your MCQs and your case study. Okay, so practice is also important. Without practice we will not know that our preparation is going in the right direction or not. What we have to do, first we have to cover the recollected questions, then we have to cover the concept, then we have to cover the MCQs and case study on the particular subject. Okay, and do make sure that you are giving topic wise test also and you are giving overall test also, both are important. Okay, so go with both the things. First you have to cover the concept, then you have to give the topic wise MCQ, then you have to give the case study topic wise, and overall test you should give, overall mock test also you should give. Okay, after that what next thing is, you have to combine the subject, combine the subject. Now what does this means? It means we will cover 2 or 3 subjects or all the 3 subjects together for the JAIIB exam preparation. Okay, so first of all, in the banking topic or related to the banking, we have principles and practices of banking, right? And then we are talking about LRAB, so this is also related to the banking. So both the subjects are related to the banking and both subjects can be covered together. So if I am talking about different charge of security, types of collateral, etc., you have to read it in the PPB also, similarly as an LRAB also. So you have to cover you have to cover these 2 subjects together, because this is really going to help you to build a conceptual understanding. Okay, apart from that, if I talk about the third subject, that is AFB, when we are talking about AFB, in AFB the module D is related to operational banking. So it is also talking about the operational banking, how the banks are working. So you have to cover the module D of this AFB subject together with the PPB and LRAB. So do make sure you combine all these 3 subjects, but in AFB you have to combine only the module D, rest module you have to cover separately. Okay, so first you have to cover the PPB syllabus, LRAB syllabus and module D syllabus of AFB. So you have to cover all the 3 subjects together. It will help you to build the concept. It will help you to know each and every detail about that particular topic. In principles and practices of banking, you are reading what is principles, what is banking, what are the different types of terms in the banking. In LRAB you will find related acts or related regulations of that particular term. So it will be very easy. You will cover a particular term as a story format, that you will know everything about the banking, you will know everything about the rules and regulation or acts also. Okay, so this is how you have to cover your JAIIB 3 subjects together. Okay, now let's come to the module A and let's discuss what we have to cover in the module A. So if we talk about module A, first of all, the module A is your Indian financial system. So Indian financial system, you have to cover an overview. So first in module A we have to cover the overview, in which we should know role of RBI, commercial banks, NBFCs, primary dealers, financial institutions, cooperative banks, CRR, SLR, equity, debt market, Adda, or we can say types of bank deposit account, all the basics all the basics related to the financial system or financial institution we have to cover, okay, in the overview of Indian financial system. After that, we have to cover banking regulation. Now, why I am discussing syllabus in detail? Because I know you have to start preparation right now for the November-December exam, and in detail how to study, what to study, and how much to study. These three questions are very important when you are preparing for any exam. So, what to study? It has given you a updated syllabus. So, what you have to study? You have to study the updated syllabus of PPB. Second, from where to study, we will let you know from where you can find the syllabus of all these subjects, or you will find the PDFs or content, etc. And how much to study, that's answer I am giving you right now by discussing the syllabus in the detail, okay. So how much you have to study in a particular topic, we will discuss that. Next, we have to cover the banking regulation, in which we have to cover the constitutions, objectives, functions of RBI, tools of monetary control, that is direct instrument, indirect instrument, also the qualitative, quantitative, then the regulatory restrictions on lending, etc. So we have to cover what are the regulations has been given in the banking. Then we have to cover the types of banking, in which retail, wholesale and international is very important. Apart from that, we have to cover the para banking, the narrow banking, shadow banking, onshore banking, offshore banking, digital banking, virtual banking. There are multiple types of banking, and there is a chances they can ask anything out of that, okay. So with retail banking, wholesale banking, international banking, we have to cover other types also. Now we have to cover the what are the products, what are the opportunities in retail banking, same for wholesale banking. Then we have to study what are the requirements of importer and exporters in the cross-border sale in the wholesale banking or international banking, okay. Now remittance services we have to cover, that is universal banking, ARD, GD, RP, participatory notes, IDR we have to cover, FDI, FII, FPI. All these are the remittances. Apart from that, we have MTSS, we have RDA, we have LRS. So all these remittances, facility or services we have to cover in the module A under the retail banking, wholesale banking and international banking, okay. So all these are the terms which are used to remit money from one country to another, okay. When we are transferring money from India to abroad, it is known as outward remittance, but when we are getting money from abroad to India, it is known as inward remittance. So that we have to cover. Next, we have role of money market, debt market, forex market. If I talking about the financial system, in financial system we have three components. The first component is financial market, second is financial product, and third is market participants, okay. These are the three components of financial system. If I am talking about the first component, that is financial market, under which we have to cover the money market, the capital market, the debt market, forex market, all these we have to cover, okay. So in which we have to cover the types of money also, like what is commodity money, what is narrow money, what is broad money, what is hot money, what is cold money. So everything we have to cover under the types of money. Then we have to cover the debt market instruments, what are the different bonds, debentures, government securities, these are the debt market instruments. Now ADs we have to cover, FAMA we have to cover. ADs means authorized dealers, Foreign Exchange Management Act, London Interbank Offered Rate, Mumbai Interbank Offered Rate. If I am talking about London Interbank Offered Rate, it was replaced by alternate reference rate by Reserve Bank of India. So from 1st January 2021, RBI has said that we are not going to use the London Interbank Offered Rate, we are going to use the alternate reference rate, okay. So we have to cover the instruments of money market also, that is call money, notice money, term money, certificate of deposit, commercial paper, cash management bill, CBLO, etc. we have to cover. Apart from that, we have to cover the capital market and SEBI. So overview of capital market should be there. BSE, NSE, stock exchange we have to cover. The terms which are related to the capital market, like sweat shares, like ASBA, like curb trading, arbitrage, or everything we have to cover. Then types of capital issues, financial product instruments like ASBA, QIP, SEBI. Under we have to study the registration of stock brokers, sub brokers, share transfer agents, etc. QIBs. QIBs is qualified institutional buyers. QIP is qualified institutional placement, okay. So these are the terms which we have to cover under the capital market. Then we have mutual fund, insurance company, bank assurance, Adda, So we know with the help of Malhotra committee in 2000, we have started performing the banking business in India. So we have to cover what are the different types of mutual funds are. They are very important. Its management, its role. Then we have to cover the insurance companies, functions and roles. What is bank assurance? What is JAIIB? We have to cover in detail. Now, if we talk about alternate source of finance, alternate source of finance are the services from where we can have the finance for our purpose apart from the banking sector. So apart from commercial banking network, what we have to do, we have to collect the source of finance. We have required of capital. Okay, so every business required a capital, and for that capital we go to the banking system. Around 60% requirement of the capital is fulfilled by the commercial banking system, but still there are possibility that commercial banks are not able to fulfill the demand of cash. So that's why we have alternate source of finance, in which we have to cover the factoring and forfeiting very importantly. Apart from that, we have to cover the angel investor, joint venture capitalist, hire purchase, crowdfunding, P2P lending. Everything is very important. So we have to cover the alternate source of finance. Now, types and advantages of factoring and forfeiting, the process of factoring and forfeiting, how many parties are there, okay, etc. Now, the off balance sheet items we have to discuss. Okay, book building, off balance sheet, we have to cover this. Now, the risk management, in which we have to cover the types of risk, how many types of risk are there, and how to manage these risks, how the credit rating agencies are helping in the risk management technique. Then we have to cover the Basel Accord 1, 2 and 3, all the three we have to cover. Then we have CAIIB, Credit Information Bureau of India Limited, that is a credit rating agency which provide rating to individuals on the basis of their credit card and loan repayment. Then we have Fair Practices Code for Debt Collection and BCSBI. If we talk about BCSBI, its dissolution started in the November 2021, but still it is important. Why it is important? Because it replaced in place of BCSBI, we are using banking ombudsman, that is integrated ombudsman for banking, NBFC and digital payments. Okay, so we are going to cover that, but still BCSBI is not dissolved yet fully, so that's why we need to cover the BCSBI functions. Okay, next, the recent development in the financial system. What are the different development has been happened in the money market, in the capital market, in financial inclusion process, in banking business, etc. We have to cover everything. So the structure, the reforms in financial system, recent development, money market, debt market, forex market, regulatory frameworks change, payment and settlement system has been changed. So we have to cover every recent development in the financial system. Okay, so these are the topics which we have to cover under the module A. Okay, and if I am talking about what are the important topics out of this, so these are the very important topics which we have to revise at the end of the timing for your PBB exam. So Indian financial system overview you have to cover, factoring, forfeiting, very important, always ask question from this topic. Then risk management, Basel important, banking regulations are important, banking, retail, wholesale, international important, civil practices, BCSBI, money market, debt market, foreign market, the capital market, insurance company, mutual fund and recent development. So these are the particular chapters which are very important, and we have to make sure that these chapter conceptual understanding has been done, okay, initially. Now, if we talk about module B, the module B is the has the huge syllabus in comparison to other modules, and it covers around 20 to 25 marks in the paper. So this is a very important module, in which the banker customer relationship we have to discuss, different deposits, products, services to customer and investor. So as we know, banks provide certain services to the customer, and on the basis of those services we have decided a certain relation between bank and customer that we have to cover. Then we have KYC, AML, CFT, to know your customer, anti-money laundering, and your combat to terror, finding terrorism. So we have to cover all these three norms, regulations, why these are important, what regulations should be followed, how the Prevention of Money Laundering Act is working, how KYC norms are working. So we have to cover all these. Now, banker special relationship, in which we have to cover the we can say charge, what charge can be given, or what are the special relationships banks are maintaining with the customer, and what is mandate, what is power of attorney, what is garnish order, banker's line, write off, set off, everything we have to cover. Okay, these are under the bankers special relationship. Now we have to cover the Consumer Protection COPRA Act and the Banking Ombudsman Scheme, that is now known as Integrated Ombudsman Scheme. Okay, so operational aspect of COPRA Act and Banking Ombudsman Scheme we have to cover. Then we have payment and collection of checks and negotiable instrument. These are very important. We know there are 3 negotiable instruments: promissory note, bill of exchange and check. All the 3 should be covered. We have to cover the Negotiable Instrument Act, what are the roles, duties defined there. Then endorsement, then forged instrument, then bouncing of check, its implication, return of check, check truncation system, cancellation of check, dishonor of check. We have to cover all these conditions. Okay. Now opening bank account of various types of customer, how many different types of customers are there, and what is the different procedure we should use while opening a account of the customer. Like if I am saying there is a woman, there is a parda nashin woman, then what condition should I follow at the time of opening of account? And if there is a minor customer, what condition I should follow? Okay, so this we have to cover. Now operational aspect of opening and maintaining account of different types of customer, including Aadhaar, savings bank rate deregulation will have to cover. Now ancillary services means additional services in the banking system which banks provide. So we have to cover the remittances. I have discussed already that MTSS is there, RDA is there and LRS is there. These are the 3 methods by which outward and inward remittances will be done. Now safe deposit locker, government business, electronic benefit transfer, we have to cover these. After that, cash operations, cash management service and its importance we have to cover. The principle of lending, working capital assessment, credit monitoring is also important. We have to cover these terms. Now we have priority sector advances, the targets, sub-target, the recent development, everything we have to cover in the priority sector advances. Now agricultural finance, it covers types of agricultural loan, risk mitigation in agriculture, etc. Okay, so MSP, NIES, we have to cover that. So agricultural finance is very important also. Now the micro, small, medium enterprises, again a very important topic in which we have to cover Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises Development Act 2006, policy package for MSME. Achha, we also have to know the definition of micro enterprises, small enterprises and medium enterprises. Okay, then we need a performance and credit rating scheme, the latest development. Apart from that, CGT MSc is very important. CGT MSc is very important under the MSME chapter. Now we have government sponsored scheme, all the important government sponsored scheme we have to cover, all the flagship schemes of government we have to cover. Okay, so these are the schemes which are a flagship scheme, evergreen schemes. Apart from that, we have Atal Pension Yojana, Mudra Yojana, Jeevan Jyoti, Suraksha Bima, Jan Dhan Yojana, etc. So these are schemes which are flagship schemes of Government of India. Then we have to cover the self-help group and how self-help group bank linkage program is started. So the need for function of self-help group, role of NGOs, indirect finance to self-help group and your SGY scheme, then capacity building. Okay, all these we have to cover. Now credit card, home loan, personal loan, consumer loan, all the conditions and all the regulations on these types of loans and advances. What are the guidelines, what are the disadvantages, what are the advantages, what are the operational aspects, we have to cover everything about these types of loans and advances. Next we have documentation. While taking loan or credit card or business loan or home loan, what documentation is required, we have to cover that. What procedure we should follow, stamping or securitization we should follow. Now different modes of charging security, again a very important topic. First we have to cover what are the different types of collateral. After covering the collateral and its characteristics, we will go with the different modes of charging security. Like if I am using a mortgage, if I am using a line, if I am using a hypothecation, now how this charging securities will be defined, we have to cover that. Okay, so we have assignment, pledge, mortgage, line, set of hypothecation, everything is very important. Now non-performing asset, first we have to understand what are the different types of assets are there, like standard asset, substandard asset, doubtful asset, etc. We have to cover that. And after that we have to cover the NPA, what is the duration of NPA, what are the overdue duration or out of order duration, everything we have to cover. The definition, income recognition, asset classification, provisioning norms, CDR, recovery methods of NPA, we have to cover all. Then the financial inclusion, providing banking services, financial product and services at an affordable cost. So banking correspondent, banking facilitators, role of ICT, then mobile based transaction, RCT, these are the methods by which we are promoting the financial inclusion in the country. Now financial literacy, what is the importance of financial literacy, what is the importance of customer awareness, we have to cover that. So financial literacy, again a very important topic. Okay, now what are the important topics in module B? So we have around 10 to 20 module B important chapters, in which PSL is very important, NPA, different modes of charging security, banker special relationship, in which garnish order, attachment order, right of, set of, line, all are important. Then MSME, payment and collection of check, negotiable instrument, Consumer Protection Act, ombudsman scheme, know your customer, anti-money laundering, agriculture finance, documentation of credit card, home loan, etc. Now self-help group, collateral and principle of lending, working capital, credit monitoring, banker customer relationship, types of all loan, financial literacy, financial inclusion, cash operation, ancillary services, opening account of various customers. So these are the 20 topics which are very important for the module B of PPB subject. Okay, now let's come to the module C, and if I am talking about the maximum syllabus or huge syllabus in the PPB subject, we have covered that in the module A and module B. Okay, next we have module C, in which we have to cover the essentials of bank computerization. So computer system, different types of networks, LAN, WAN, UPS, core banking we have to cover. Then the payment system, electronic banking, ATM, HVOC, PIN, electromagnetic cards, electronic banking, signature storage, retrieval system, CTS, then coin counting machines, microfiche, NPC, RuPay, etc. And also all the services provided by NPCI we have to cover. Okay, under the Payment Settlement System Act. Then the data communication network, electronic fund transfer system, we have to cover the transmissions, major networks in India, then communication networks for banking, EFT system, SWIFT, automated clearing system, fund transfer system, recent developments in India related to the online payment or digital payment system. Okay, next we have role of technology upgradation and its impact on banks. The trends in technology development, role and uses of technology upgradation, global trends, impact of IT of banks, etc. So all these are related to the role of IT upgradation. Next, security consideration, again an important part. We have to cover the risk concern areas, the types of threats in the areas, control mechanism, how to control those risks, computer audit, then IS security, IS audit, evaluation requirement, etc. And for consideration, security consideration, RBI has also established one subsidiary that is known as RABBIT, which provide the IT needs of the RBI and banking system and also the cyber security needs. Now the overview of IT Act we have to cover, in which Gopal Krishnan committee should be covered, recommendations should be covered of this committee. Now preventive vigilance in electronic banking, so phishing, computer, customer education, safety checks, precautions, all these will be covered under the making the people aware about the cyber crimes or internet crimes, etc. Okay. Now these are all the chapters of module C, and if we talk about module D, you have to follow the module D sequence as per the syllabus. Okay, so the sequence should be followed in the marketing chapter. So in marketing we have to cover the introduction, that concept, management, product, services, marketing mix, brand image, etc. Social marketing networking, we have to cover the evolution, importance and relevance of social marketing networking. Then we have consumer behavior and product, in which consumer behavior, product planning, development, strategy, CRM, etc. will be covered. Pricing will be there, importance, objective, factors, method, strategies of pricing, bank pricing, everything will be covered. Okay, that is your pricing. Next, marketing mix is very important in here. So pricing is a part of marketing mix, so we have to cover the pricing mix, the distribution channel, the direct channel, the indirect channel, zero label, one label, two label. We have to cover that. Now how to do the management of the channel, what are the promotion activities, advertisement, sales promotion, public relation, or door-to-door selling, etc. Okay, these are the part of the promotions which we have to cover. Now the direct selling, in which no mediator will be there, and indirect selling where the mediator will be there. So marketing information system we have to cover, and all the components of marketing information system is important, how this works, what are the advantages of this system, okay, and where it can be used, everything should be covered under the marketing information system. Now, if we talk about module D, we have to cover all the chapters in the same format as the syllabus has been defined. So you have to follow the sequence of the syllabus in which we have discussed that what topics we have to cover, because marketing module has been created like a, if you start reading from the first topic and you go to the last topic, you will understand the overall marketing strategy which is used by the sellers in the country. Okay. Now if we talk about module E, we have a very little syllabus for module E for the ethics. So in ethics, we have to cover the business ethics, banking and integrated perspective. We have to cover the work ethics, we have to cover the personal ethics, okay. So the business ethics, work ethics, personal ethics we have to cover, and ethics at an individual level we have to cover, ethical behavior at workplace, ethical dimensions we have to cover around from employees. Then the work ethics and the workplace we have to cover, the banking ethics, changing dynamics we have to cover. So when it comes to the module E, this is a simple module, or we can say the terms which is used in the ethics, or to understand the ethics subject is very easy, because it let us know that how we should behave in the public and how we should decide that which of the following options is right and which of the following option is wrong. So simply, ethics is a systematic study of human being in point of view from rightfulness and wrongfulness. As we know all that every human being have their own perspective regarding a certain topic, and that perspective is built according to their values and principles they have seen from their families or their friends or their colleagues. Okay, so we have developed a certain values, certain moral principles, etc. And because of that, our perceptions to look at the things has been changed from another person's. Okay, so that is what we have to cover, how you have to follow the code of conduct of the banks. Okay, we have to cover all that things. Now module C and E both are having the same priority, so we have to cover at the same level. So first you have to go with the module B, then module A, then you have to go to module D, then C and E you have to cover. So this sequence should be followed by you, and I have discussed in detail the overall syllabus of your principles and practices of banking. Now one important thing is that do not try to skip any module or topic. You have to read the complete syllabus, you have to have a complete understanding of all the topics, okay, of all the modules. Because if you see the recollected questions of JAIIB exam under principles and practices of banking, so you will definitely find that they ask questions from everywhere, from every module, from every topic they have asked the questions. There are certain modules or topics from which they have asked maximum questions, but still they have asked one question in form of 0.5 marks or 1 marks from all the chapters. Okay, so we do not have to skip any module or any topic, and we have more than sufficient time right now to prepare the overall syllabus. Okay, so it is important, do not skip any module or topic, just go with the conceptual understanding, go with the flow I have told you, go with the topics I have told you, which are important, which are less important, which are more important, and follow the sequence of module also. Okay, so this is all related to the marks distribution and the syllabus discussion of the principles and practices of banking. Okay, apart from that, when to start preparation, how Adda 24/7 is going to help you in your preparation, and what you should do. Okay, and what you should do, we are going to discuss that. The daily timing of this class, Rishad, is 6:15 AM. Okay, so on 6:15 AM we are having this class on daily. Okay, now how Adda 24/7 is going to help you, for that you have to visit the Adda 24/7 application, or you can go to the website of the Adda 24/7 application, Adda 24/7. You have to go to the JAIIB and CAIIB section, and from there you will find the JAIIB section here. You have to go to the JAIIB section, you will find all the upcoming classes. Okay, all the upcoming classes will be available here very soon, and the study plan will be also available. So you will find that the JAIIB bilingual batch and your English medium batch both are starting very soon from July itself. So you can go to the Adda 24/7 application and visit this page. You will find all the batches. Now, how to enroll in this particular batch? For that, what you have to go, just go with the particular product you want to purchase or batch you want to purchase. Do check your study plan, do check everything what we are covering in this particular batch. Then you have to go to the view offer, and in view offer you can use a code that is Y496. After using this code you will get 77% discount here, and if you purchase the same batch from Adda 24/7 application you will get 78% discount. Okay, so and if you are preparing for JAIIB right now, you are going to give the JAIIB exam in November and December. So we know if we start today onwards, we will be definitely qualifying this exam, and after that you have to go for the CAIIB exam. So for CAIIB exam, it is very much benefiting you that you go for the Mahapack, because after JAIIB we have to cover the CAIIB exam already. So what you can do, you can go with the Mahapack, in which all the JAIIB classes will be available, all the CAIIB classes will be available, all ebooks will be available for all of you, and all the test series or mock tests will be available. So you do not have to purchase individually all the batches of case study or target batch or selection batch or ebooks or your mock test. Okay, under single product you will find everything available, and to enroll the process will be same. You have to go to the view offer, and you have to use code Y496 and apply the code, and you will find 77% discount here. And if you apply this Y496 code on application, you will find 78% discount on the product. Okay, so this is how you can enroll yourself in the batch. The time duration will be start from 6:15 to 7 AM on daily basis except Sundays. Okay, so this is the time period of this particular class. This is the introduction class in which we are discussing that what should study, how should study. In the upcoming sessions, we are going to practice questions. We are going to discuss the concepts related to the principle and practices of banking. Okay, so class will be from 6:15 to 7 AM every day morning, Monday to Saturday, not on Sundays. Okay, yeah. So that's all for today. I hope this session will be helpful for all of you to understand what to study, from where to start, and how much to study. Okay, so before ending the session, first important thing is that if you are new to the Officers Adda 24/7 channel, then you have to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon, so that all the upcoming sessions notification will be given to you. And also, if you like this session, share session with your colleagues, and also press the like button of this session. Okay, so thank you all for joining the session, and stay safe.